Yeah, Collinsville. Red and purple, white and purple. Yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to CHS, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low. Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm about my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the cheapest crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play with sports. I play my cards right, now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm the back cause everybody rolling with me, Kahok.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All the freshmen, sophomores,
High school champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collinsville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good evening, everyone, as we welcome you to O'Fallon High School as we get you set for this Class 3A Boys Soccer Regional Championship game between your Collinsville Kahawks and the host O'Fallon Panthers. I am Todd Duke alongside Chris Kettler, and we're glad that you're with us here on the Kahawks Sports Network as we get you set for this game between Collinsville and O'Fallon. As right now we welcome you into the Chiropractic Works pregame show. Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives, all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville at 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call at 343-3602 or online, chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Well, it has been a cold, wet, and rainy and windy day here in the nation's midsection, and the rain has kind of stopped, and they're looking for all of the rain to exit around 9 o'clock, so we may get some off and on showers here. But right now, it's really chilly and really windy. The wind coming out of the north at about 20 miles per hour, gusting up to about 30. So as we bring in Chris Kettler, Chris, that could have a big direct impact on this game here tonight.
Yeah, this will be the most adverse conditions any of these teams are probably played in this year. The wind's going to be whipping across the field here. You could have strained bounces. You know, that's the kind of things you don't want to have in a big-time regional championship game, but both teams will have to deal with it. The Kahoks are on a roll here lately, won a few games, and their last loss was to O'Fallon. See if they can avenge that loss and get this regional championship tonight.
We're looking at the radar right now. We are in a little bit of a break. It's not raining at the moment, but there is some more rain coming out to the south, rolling up Interstate 44 as this tropical system pushes on out of here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And really, it affects the players more than anyone because we're up here in the booth and we're not wet and we're not exactly warm and toasty, but we're out of the elements, so that feels a little bit better, right?
Yeah, it feels fine up here in the booth. Players are the ones that are going to have to deal with it. They'll adjust as they go along and just know what they have to do. And if we had some weird bounces or ball gets knocked down by the wind, that's just the breaks that's going to happen here tonight. Anything could happen.
That's correct. And we talked about some of those things with Collinsville head coach Rob Lugie a little while ago. We'll pass along that conversation to you next as the Chiropractic Works pregame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment, where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahoks Sports Network. It is a raw October day, been raining all day, very windy and cool. But here we are in O'Fallon as we get you set for this Class 3A Regional Championship game between the O'Fallon Panthers and the Collinsville Kahawks. Rob Lugie, head coach of the Collinsville Kahawks, joining us now. Coach, let's go back to the 2-0 win over Belleville West. We saw Belleville West earlier in the year, and the first game was a little easier than the second game was. I think they've gotten better as the year progressed, and that really showed in that semifinal.
Yeah, no, they've improved each game we've played them. The other night they had opportunities to put a goal in early, and we were lucky enough to withstand that, and ended up getting a quick goal towards the end of this first half, and kind of had a little pressure on them. And once we got that second goal, we knew we were going to be okay.
Talk about the first goal. Nick Corzine scores that one. Man, he blistered that shot.
Yeah, he did. We've been working on him just kind of being able to close out the top of the box because he can hit a ball hard. And we just told him, you don't have to place it whenever it comes to that. Just hit it on frame, and it'll probably hit somebody. Luckily, it missed everybody and went in.
All right, second goal came 6 minutes after the second half began by Tag Baker. Man, it was like a breakaway in hockey almost. I couldn't believe how long he held on to that ball without getting any problems from the team's defense, and almost went right in and scored up close.
Yeah, honestly, it looked like he dribbled for about 80 yards. In my mind, I'm telling him to pass it, but I'm also yelling at the same time to keep dribbling. That was a weird one because no one ever stepped to him. And if no one ever steps, we always tell the boys to continue to go. It was weird that it happened that way. And then he put a good shot on goal.
And I felt that the team was breathing a little easier after that second goal. 1-0 is a tough road to hoe, man, but you get that second goal and things feel a little better, don't they?
Yes, and even then, though, there was still a lot of time left in that game, so you have to continue to play as hard as you possibly can. The boys did a good job defensively in the second half. I think we limited their opportunities a little bit more than the first half, which it was nice to see, especially the way we've been playing lately. We had to continue to play strong defense and get a shot.
And when they did get past the defense, Logan Rader had a great game. He made some tough saves when he had to.
He did. Logan has really stepped it up in the past 10 games, and you can tell by our results. Logan is playing the way I thought he was going to play all year. He's been lights out.
All right, so the weather's not cooperating at all, but they call this soccer weather for some reason or another. Do you agree with that?
If you lose the wind, the rain's okay. The wind makes it difficult at times, but it's playoffs. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Probably better for the guys out there. They're the ones out there moving around. The people in the stands and you guys on the sidelines are just like standing here getting cold.
Yeah, well, I have on multiple layers, so I'm good. I worry about the boys, and they're who have to sit on the bench for a little bit. We always make the boys run a lot. Whenever it comes to them sitting on the bench, we want to move about every 5 minutes just to make sure they stay warm and stay ready. So we got to do what we got to do.
You mentioned the wind. I think more than anything that has an effect on the game, and right now it's gusting pretty well. So what do you tell the guys out there when they're handling the ball in this kind of gust?
Well, there's not much that you can really do. You try and keep the ball low, but sometimes that doesn't work, and then it'll just blow out of bounds. With this kind of wind, the ball will just blow out of bounds just as much as possible. So we just adjust and go from there.
All right, so you have O'Fallon tonight. This is a team that handled you guys twice this year. We mentioned talking last week that when you guys had to go up against Belleville West, hard to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So now that's on O'Fallon's side of the ball. They have to beat you guys 3 times in 1 year. What do you like about this O'Fallon team, and what are you going to use to try to beat this O'Fallon team?
They've had a really successful year. They got us on pretty much all dead balls. The games we had were good. We just had lapses on dead balls and corners. So my hope is that we've practiced it enough and we've gotten into it a little bit more, and the boys can withstand their pressure and put one in the net.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Rob Lugie, your Collinsville Kahok head coach. We are going to take a break here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. When we come back, we'll pass along the starting lineups to you, and we'll throw some more names and numbers, information. That's what you need, and that's coming up next on the Kahok Sports Network.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Brady Pest and Termite Management is your local pest control source. The Midwest offers its fair share of pest problems, and Brady Pest and Termite Management is up to the challenge. Whether it's pesky rodents in the cold winter months or ants, spiders, and other pests in the warm months, Brady Pest and Termite is your solution. And termites? Brady Pest is tops in the Metro East in termite management. Do you have unwanted pests? Then call the best. Brady Pest and Termite Management in Caseyville. Call 343-1790 or on Facebook at Brady Pest and Termite. Looking to buy a new home or sell your current one? Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis Realty with all of your real estate needs. The real estate market is hot right now. Trust the Blaylock team of Keller Williams Marquis to help you find the perfect home or to help you get top dollar for your current home. Give Peyton or Emily Blaylock a call today at 618-780-4622 or visit them online at blaylockteam.com or on Facebook at the Blaylock Team. All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number one on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent customer service. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Online at allprotees.com or on Facebook at All Pro Tees. Or call All Pro Tees at 344-2200.
As the Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level Performance Institute, I oversee the care of all of our athletes, many high school, collegiate, and professional. Our goal is to help athletes stay on the field and maximize their performance. We have state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment where we can actually perform testing to get to the root cause of problems that could be getting in the way of athletic performance. When it comes to taking care of athletes, we take a full-body approach, whether it's musculoskeletal ailments, nutritional issues, organic issues such as headaches, sinuses, digestive issues. We have advanced training to where we can remedy health issues and return that athlete to play as quickly as possible. If you or your athlete are dealing with any kind of nagging sports injury and would like to see if we can possibly help, feel free to give us a call or come by the office anytime.
And once again, we welcome you back to O'Fallon High School. Todd Duke, Chris Kettler along with you. Both teams have been introduced here to a sparse crowd. And I'm guessing that would be the right thing to do. It's a nasty day outside, so a little on the sparse side. So here are your starters. We will begin with the O'Fallon Panthers. In goal, you will find Stephen Merrill. He is a senior, and in front of him, you will find Vishal Jacob, Gavin Hughes, Toby Ibarra, Brendan Hill, Bid Koenig, Joel Meyer, Brent Black, Jacob Volkering, Mateo Boseo, and Rafa Rowland. Logan Rader is in goal tonight for Collinsville. And in front of Logan, you will find Dalen Frecker, Tag Baker, Braden Shiragi, Yahir Figueroa, Anthony Copatelli, Nick Corzine, Ryan Knoll, Maximus Lawrence, Jarrett Ellsworth, and Spencer Vlasic. Here's a look at your two goalkeepers for tonight for Stephen Merrill. 1,511 minutes he's played this year. He has a record of 13-4-2. 9 shutouts on the year. 6 of those he's done by himself. The other 3 he shared with the backup goalkeepers. He has given up 12 goals on the year for a 0.64 goals against average, and he's made 119 saves. 0.90 is his save percentage. For Logan Rader, 1,421 minutes on the year. He is 12-7-0, and we'll give you the information on the rest here. I got to make sure I get my clock started as we are just about ready to get underway. Referee's looking around, making sure everybody's okay. He's going to come over and talk to the other guy here. So, Logan has 8 shutouts on the year, and 6 of those is all by himself. 2 of them were shared. 27 goals on the year. Logan has given up for a 1.52 goals against average and 104 saves. Gives him a 7.9 save percentage, and we are underway. Logan Rader will be occupying the goal to your right, and that is where the wind is at everyone's back. So for the first half anyway, Collinsville will have the wind at their back as they're shooting toward the goal on the left-hand side of your screen, and O'Fallon will be shooting into that wind, which should die down a little bit here, I would think, as the sun goes down and darkness takes hold. That is usually the case. Here comes the O'Fallon Panthers. They bring the ball up as we are underway here in this first half. Logan Rader gets a hold of it and sends it back out toward midfield, where the O'Fallon Panthers, the ones who are wearing the dark blue jerseys, against your Collinsville Kahawks, they're wearing their white uniforms today. The numbers on the backs are in purple. And unfortunately for me, the numbers on the backs of the O'Fallon players match their uniforms, and they're just trimmed in a little bit of gold. Makes them a little tough to see, but we'll get through it. Rick Corzine sends the ball back up past midfield off of Tag Baker and right at the midfield logo, the big O that stands for O'Fallon. And this one close to being out of bounds, but kept in. And now Collinsville's Ryan Knoll trying to secure the ball, but he has that knocked away from him by O'Fallon, and Collinsville will have a throw in here, and this first one will be taken by Dalen Frecker. Frecker throws the ball downfield. O'Fallon gets a hold of it first, right past Knoll, over here on the sideline, and kicked forward by the O'Fallon Panthers, and Ben Koenig. Now Collinsville intercepts. That's Spencer Vlasic. Vlasic tries to shoot it up to the middle, but it is picked off there by Koenig, and now the other way we go with Rowland. Rowland for O'Fallon. Comes in, scoots it into the box, no one there to give him any help, and Logan Rader just comes out, and after a couple of bounces, he takes care of that one and sends it back out to midfield. 38 minutes to go. We're just 2 minutes into this first half between Collinsville and O'Fallon. The winner will move on to face the Edwardsville Tigers. That'll be Tuesday night at 6 o'clock at Belleville East after the Tigers dispatched of Alton last night by a score of 7-1. Is that what you said?
Yeah, 7-1.
7-1.
Result in that one.
Yeah, it was. So they've already played their championship game, so congratulations to Edwardsville. Collinsville, they're trying to win a regional championship for the 3rd year in a row. They've been in, or this is their 5th year in a row being in the regional championship game. And they want to continue that push. O'Fallon sends the ball back out. All the way down, Logan Rader calls off his defenseman, and Logan says he'll take this one himself. Over the last 20 years, Collinsville is 13-13 against O'Fallon on the soccer field. That's an 11-9 regular season record and a 2-4 playoff performance against O'Fallon. The last time that these teams met in the playoffs was October of 2014. That was the last of 5 years in a row that O'Fallon knocked out the Collinsville Kahawks in the playoffs. They had our number for a long while there, Chris.
Wow, that's an unbelievable streak there, 5 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, it's been a pretty even matchup. Some team wins one, the other one comes back and get it, 13-13 over the years.
Yeah, Collinsville lost twice this year to O'Fallon, and that broke a string of 5 years in a row in the regular season that Collinsville has dominated O'Fallon. But this year they've turned the tables, have the Panthers, and they won both meetings this year. O'Fallon kicks the ball out to midfield. It bounces all the way into the O'Fallon offensive zone, so the Panthers are coming with a little push over on the far side. And some speed going on over there. I believe that is Joel Meyer. Not sure, can't tell the number from all the way over here, but O'Fallon putting on some pressure over there on that far side. All the way up against the sideline, back where they take a corner kick, and that ball ends up going out of bounds. We are in the booth, and the lights are off, so we don't have the reflection off of the lights off of the window because they're not like the windows in Collinsville. They don't come out. They only slide open, and only one of them does, so it doesn't do us any good to open the window as the rain starts to fall, and all the umbrellas are popping out. And you can't see the corner kick flag all the way over on the left side of your screen or on the near side because that's where the window pane is, so you'll have to rely on us, and you might get a little bit of a glare if we go over to the side where Logan Rader is right now because that's where the light is on in the middle booth, so they can see over there.
Might get the top or two of an umbrella in the shot.
Might, yes. Umbrella's popped right back out as the rain started all over again. Here's a ball that goes into the box. Logan Rader picks it up before any damage can be done. Most of the day it's been a light, steady rain, and then for the last couple of hours it's been a really persistent mist, if you will. But this one's coming down pretty good right now. And they say by 9 o'clock it'll be out here. So about the time we're finished, wrapped up, and heading back to Collinsville, this whole rain system will come to an end. Here's O'Fallon. We are scoreless thus far, 34-45 left to play here in this first half. O'Fallon, they get the ball, and it'll be a throw-in from right underneath our location here. That is Ben Koenig, who will now drop the ball back and give Gavin Hughes the opportunity to throw it in. Hughes back over to Koenig, and Koenig trying to work his way around Corzine. He does so with a nifty little pass there to Velasso, and now a chance for O'Fallon, and they score.
Yeah, that's the speed of O'Fallon. That's what struck me the first time the Kahokes, the second time the Kahokes played them, the home game, and they just play with a lot of speed, and if you get caught flat-footed, you're going to get beat by O'Fallon, and they strike here with just short of 6 minutes into this game.
I believe that was Koenig who scored that goal. Yep, that's exactly who it was. So Koenig scores for O'Fallon. 1-0 lead. 34-10 left to play here in this first half. And now Collinsville will have to play a little uphill battle here and try to get that goal back quickly. Now O'Fallon only beat Belleville East 1-0 in their semifinal, so the Lancers put up a little bit of a fight here for the Panthers as that rain continues to fall now, and the Panthers take control of the ball over on the far side. They get it up back into their offensive zone once again. Collinsville's defense has to be alert in this rain and wind, and they send the ball up into the very dreary gray sky as the flags have kind of slowed down a little bit as far as the stiffness of the wind is concerned while the rain falls, but I'm sure that we haven't seen the last of the wind. Collinsville brings the ball up, and right at midfield, it's knocked back into the midfield circle. Ellsworth put that ball into play, and O'Fallon takes over. Collinsville trying to intercept at midfield over on the far sideline. Back out into the O'Fallon offensive zone. Once again up the sideline, but this time it is intercepted, but not for very long. A nice move there. And O'Fallon again with a chance, but that one is called offside. So Collinsville survives a little bit of a scare there as the rain has picked up in intensity here. You can really see it in the lights over on the far side of the field. It's coming down pretty well now.
Yeah, that time Koenig just lost his man there, got a step ahead of him there and fell off sides. But he is ready to put that speed on again and make a run towards Logan Rader for another goal.
Speaking of Logan Rader, he sends the ball back into play. Collinsville trailing 1-0 here on a goal in the first 6 minutes of the game by Ben Koenig, the senior midfielder for O'Fallon. For Koenig on the year, that was his 9th goal, so he now has tied his teammate Tyler Looning with 9 goals on the year. We're hoping to keep some of these raindrops off of this window, too, so it doesn't obscure the camera view. So far, so good, as the rain looks like it's kind of falling at an angle from over to the right. Here comes O'Fallon once again, and one forward. Collinsville has 2 defenders back, and Dalen Frecker working real hard. Here is Koenig once again. He's over on the right wing, sends one right up into the teeth of the goal, and it is over on a shot over there on the far side by Brendan Hill. And Collinsville avoids another scare.
He'll had to rush his shot before Scroggy got into better defensive position there, and he elevated that just a bit too much.
So once again, Logan Rader will send us out on a goal kick restart. Couldn't play the game here last night because they had football here last night. And O'Fallon lost 26-14 to Edwardsville. Edwardsville and East St. Louis, the only two teams in the Southwestern Conference moving ahead in the football playoff bracket. That was just released a little bit ago. Collinsville, 1 goal behind. Here is Ryan Knoll. He oversteps the ball, but there's Anthony Colpatelli. Colpatelli chips it up, trying to get it into the front of the box, but an O'Fallon head kept that out. But here's a shot by Knoll, and that one goes a little wide. So Collinsville's first real good chance on offense goes wide. It goes off of a body belonging to O'Fallon. So the Kahawks will get a corner kick out of this, and that corner kick will come from the far side. It'll be Yahir Figueroa who will take it with the wind in his face.
Yeah, going against the wind here, this is going to be real tough. They might just keep it on the ground. No, he sends it in high.
Sends it in high. The wind knocks it down off of the head of Shiragi, and then O'Fallon is the next to touch it. And they bring it up with a head of steam over there on the far side. And a nice little sliding tackle there by Maximus Lawrence to keep that little movement downfield from getting any farther. And the ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in for the O'Fallon Panthers. And a lot of those 5 losses in a row that O'Fallon put on Collinsville in the playoffs were all really low-scoring games. 3 of them were 1-0 scores. One was a 2-1 score, and the other one was a 3-2 score. So they were all hard-fought battles. Collinsville just couldn't find a way to get past the Panthers from 2010 all the way to 2014. O'Fallon with the ball and the lead. 29.5 minutes left to play here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. The rain's starting to fall down in sheets now.
Yeah, it's driving rain. It's hardest rain of the whole day now.
Yeah, it is, because like I said, all day it's just been a steady rain. This was a little heavier and driving, and that one's knocked out of the air right in front of the net by Nick Corzine. And that goes all the way out of bounds over on the far side. And, it's as long as we don't see any lightning, I'm good.
Yeah, we had the Lightning game against Edwardsville. We had the delay in the starting lineups, and then just after the second half started.
Here's O'Fallon in the box once again. Collinsville living a little dangerously there on defense. As we have a whistle on the play in the driving rain. Looking at the radar, we have a little bit of rain moving into the area, and some orange and reds are popping up here on the radar screen. So
that tends to be sometimes where the lightning exists.
A little heavier cells are a little bit on the orange side, yellow. But, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully we don't see any lightning. But I know those boys have got to be soaked out there now. Some of the ones for all the subs for O'Fallon are underneath tents. Collinsville subs are sitting there on the bench. Here's Yahir Figueroa at midfield. He sends it back to the defense, and Dalen Frecker will send it back up, trying to find Ryan Knoll, but that was intercepted by the defense of O'Fallon. And now the O'Fallon Panthers will once again try to work it up on offense. Here is the goal scorer, Ben Koenig. Koenig cuts it across the middle and then gets it right back right in front of the referee. Gets another chip shot right back. That one from his teammate Jacob Volkering. Now over on the far side. Once again, O'Fallon trying to set it up, and that one was blocked right back into the face of the ball carrier, and then the ball carrier slips down and at the same time knocked the ball out of bounds. That's another thing with the rain. It makes that artificial turf kind of slick.
Yeah, and this turf here at O'Fallon is starting to look a little like it's a little wore down here over the years, so it probably doesn't have quite the padding and that much to it that you would normally have, especially like the new turf at Collinsville, so it's going to be a little flatter out here in O'Fallon.
I think this rain may stick around for the whole entire game, Chris, to tell you the truth. Looking at that radar screen, the way that system is spinning, it's spinning from the south up to the north, and it looks like we may be locked in here for a couple of more hours.
Looks like Collinsville's just going to kind of lock it back here. They got like 5 guys back here, and all O'Fallon can do is seem to get it from side to end to sideline or work their way backwards.
And some of the midfielders chipping in to help out with a little defense here. Here's O'Fallon, their defenseman, brings the ball up, and that is Gavin Hughes right underneath us that has it. You can tell the jerseys are just soaking wet. They make them really heavy. Brent Black looks like his jersey's soaked so much it's all the way down to his knees. Here's O'Fallon. They are doing a pretty good job of keeping it in the offensive zone so far. 26-25 left to play here in this first half, and O'Fallon with the 1-0 lead. Corzine sends the ball up past midfield, trying to find Colpatelli. Colpatelli is trying to work past Jacob, and Jacob ends up sending the ball out of bounds over on the far side, right at the end of the Kahok bench, so Collinsville will have a throw-in from there. Now they're going to let Jackson Perrell handle it. Perrell just coming into the game during that last substitution. And Perrell will take his position right in the middle of the Collinsville bench and throw it in right into that rain off of the head of one of the O'Fallon players, and O'Fallon gets a hold of it and sends it back up to midfield. Vlasic, he gets it, sends it over there right in the midfield circle to Frecker, and Frecker, he pops one up that's going to land right into the arms of, Steve Merrill. That's another thing with the wet conditions. The ball is also wet, and sometimes you can't handle it that well when you're a goalie.
And it's spinning around, and you're looking up trying to get it. The rain's falling in your face.
Yeah.
And then he's got gloves, too, that could be wet. Lots of stuff went against him there, but he was able to recover.
Well, I would imagine those gloves, after they get wet, they're a little heavy as well, because those are some thick gloves these soccer goalkeepers use.
Yeah, he goes over there and kind of starts to towel off his hands. I don't know what it does to do, towel him off on it with a wet towel.
Yeah, it all depends on what kind of gloves that he has. If they have the leather plastic kind of stuff on them, then he should be okay. Just trying to get the moisture off. Here is Vlasic. He'll send it into the O'Fallon bench. And actually, I think O'Fallon just did us a favor there, and one of their players was right there in front and knocked it into his own bench accidentally, so Collinsville will get the throw in here. Kahawks trail 1-0. Ben Koenig with the lone goal thus far by O'Fallon 6 minutes into this game. Winner will move on and play Tuesday at Belleville East. And they will take on the Edwardsville Tigers as play takes place in the Collinsville offensive zone now. That is part of the normal Community West High School sectional. And now the Kahawks trying to move the ball up. Vlasic has it go off of his shoulder. That just kind of rode up his leg there, and I think they may have called that a handball, so bad break there for Collinsville as that ball just kind of went up and then rode down the shoulder and down the arm of Spencer Vlasic, so a free kick here for O'Fallon. They'll send it deep into the offensive zone, and Collinsville sends it right back out, or tries to anyway. Vlasic got that one off his head, but that hit a body belonging to O'Fallon, and now the Kahawks get it and try to get it up to midfield. Here is Hensler. He gets the ball over to Perrell. Perrell trying to find Figueroa down there. And now over here to this side, Koenig has it, goes off of his foot and out of bounds. The darker jerseys just look like they're a lot more wet than the white jerseys do for some reason or another. Looks like they're all heavy and just sagging, don't they?
They look like they're a big, thick jersey anyway. Maybe it's a warmer weather one O'Fallon has.
Yeah. So Dalen Frecker will come in and take care of this throw in.
We got an interesting spot here. The water's collecting.
Yeah, right there, a big old puddle. This one's thrown down the line and off of the head of Luis Fernandez. And Collinsville trying to keep it down here. Fernandez had the right idea. He was heading to the corner, but he got a little bit too much on it. And that ball ends up going out of bounds. So a throw-in coming up here for O'Fallon. That'll be Gavin Hughes who's throwing the ball in. 22:30 left to play here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. And Mr. Hughes tried to come up the line a little bit too much with that throw, and the referee said, back up a little bit, sir. Comes in off of the head of Frecker. Most of the Kahawks have headbands on, trying to keep the dripping water from their hair out of their eyes. Now Collinsville trying to settle it down and get a shot on a offense here. Here is the Kahawks settling it down. Wes Hensey gets it over to Nick Corzine. Corzine trying to pop it up into the box, but never quite made it that far. Now Frecker gets it up, but it's popped right back once again. Collinsville having a hard time keeping it down in the offensive zone. Now at midfield, Frecker picks the ball off over to Hensey. Hensey finds Corzine. Corzine right in the middle and off of the leg of Colpatelli there, and it just keeps popping up in the air, and no one can really settle it down. O'Fallon then sends it back down into their offensive zone. Kahawks have three defensemen back, and Frecker just uses his forehead and knocks it right to Logan Rader. with 21-25 left to play here in this first half. Raider settles the ball down, and he's ready. He sends it out. All the way past midfield, and the defense, Gavin Hughes, settles it down for O'Fallon and sends it up. Ellsworth sends it back. Fernandez trying to chase it down. He gets around one defender over there on that far sideline. He has Figueroa in the middle, and that ball goes in and across the line. Put there by Fernandez, so a goal kick restart coming up here for the O'Fallon Panthers. Last win for Collinsville over O'Fallon was last year, 3-0 at Collinsville High School. Lost both this year. And as I mentioned, that first loss of the year snapped a 5-year win streak Collinsville had over O'Fallon. And it seemed like a lot of years, I was noticing that, a lot of years that Collinsville beat O'Fallon in the regular season. O'Fallon turned around and then was the ones that knocked Collinsville out of the postseason. I remember a few of those. We did a lot of those where O'Fallon was the ones knocking us out. At 2014, it was right here. 2013, it was at Belleville West. 2012, it was actually at Collinsville. As O'Fallon throws the ball in. You can see that driving rain and those lights. And up at midfield, Collinsville trying to get a little offense. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. That's the score they beat Belleville East by on Tuesday night. They had the first game right before Collinsville beat Belleville West 2-0. As play takes place at midfield, over on the far side, Collinsville's defense trying to send it on up off of an O'Fallon player, and the O'Fallon players then take control of it at midfield and try to work it up once again into the offensive zone. Here is Koenig and Corzine. Corzine got there first, and then the ball somehow or another still came down on the foot of Ben Koenig, and he just shot that one wide. 19 minutes left to play here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. And so far, Chris, O'Fallon has had the better and the more chances on offense than Collinsville has.
Collinsville's letting O'Fallon work the sidelines and not giving up the middle of the field there. That time, Koenig got around a sleeping Ellsworth who just barely got back in time to keep Koenig from scoring in on Logan Raider.
Tag Baker moves the ball up to Fernandez, and now Fernandez to Hinsey. And Hinsey, his shot, he was trying to find Tag Baker, but got a little bit too much on it, and off of the mark it went and out of bounds. So a throw-in coming up here for Gavin Hughes once again for O'Fallon. And he throws it right in to Koenig. And then O'Fallon sends it back up the line. Panthers.
I can't move this up higher to get around the umbrella.
Yeah, you can. This gentleman underneath us is also videotaping, so he's standing.
There we go. We'll be up over his umbrella now.
All right.
Next shot's over there.
O'Fallon with the lead and working to add another one as they have the ball on the offensive side of things. Koenig trying to chase it down before it goes out of bounds, but he kicks it that way anyway, so it'll be another goal kick restart coming up here for the Collinsville Kahawks. Logan Raider will get the ball back with 17.5 minutes to play in this first half. You know the O'Fallon Panthers only have 3 head coaches in their program's history?
How far back do they go? Only back into the 70s?
1977. Art
Yeah.
Vollinger was the first head coach, followed by Rich Bickle, who was here for 3 years. Vollinger was here for 21 years, and now their current coach, Jason Turkington, this is his 19th year. So a couple of long-tenured coaches here with the one gentleman that only had 3 years in between. Collinsville, conversely, has had 8 head coaches in their program's history. Here's O'Fallon, dangerous once again. That's off the backside of one of the Collinsville defensemen, and then the ball gets away. Tag Baker trying to chase it down over there in the corner before it goes across the end line. He does and sends it across the sideline instead. There's that glare off the window I was telling you about. Only when we face it over to this side, because in the middle booth they have the lights on. That's where the scorekeepers are and the PA announcer, so They have to be able to read and see things. Here's a throw in from O'Fallon. They'll just throw it right down to the ground to Koenig. Koenig, was the one. No, he was not the one throwing it in. That was Brendan Hill. 8 and 9, they look alike when you are talking about a couple of wet jerseys that are all dark blue. That was a header over the end line, so O'Fallon will have a corner kick. This one will come from the far side. .16 to play here in this first half. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon, and here come the Panthers with a corner kick. It's on the way, and nice job right in the middle of the group was Spencer Vlasic, and Vlasic headed that ball out of harm's way, and then it gets kicked out from the sideline area, so another throw-in coming up here for the O'Fallon Panthers. Popped up as O'Fallon tries to close in on it. That's off of Tag Baker, they say, so out of bounds it goes, and a throw-in coming up here again for Gavin Hughes. Hughes throws it up the line, and Collinsville intercepts. They get it all the way back out to midfield and beyond. Now it's a foot race. Anthony Copatelli is there. It goes a little awry as the O'Fallon player was trying to just kick the ball out of bounds. Now back to Hensey. Hensey, he moves it up into the box, but he hits that one too far, and it goes past Copatelli and Figueroa and rolls right to Stephen Merrill. 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. They scored 6 minutes into this game, and that's the only score thus far. Ball comes all the way back into the defensive zone, and then a little miscommunication there between Spencer Vlasic and Shiragi. That ball actually ricocheted off of both of them and then went in the opposite direction in which they were hoping for. Throw comes in. O'Fallon settles it down right in front of their own bench. The Panthers move out. There's a shot from far away, but that's off of Frecker. And now Tag Baker uses his head, trying to get the ball farther upfield. Only got it right onto the foot of Rafa Rowland. And now a save by Logan Rader on a dangerous opportunity there by the Panthers. And Collinsville survives that. Oh, that was kicked right off the back of the head of the guy up front. And now O'Fallon coming in for another opportunity. That was the weirdest play I think I've ever seen in soccer. One of them anyway.
Yeah, that could have been a really bad play if Logan Rader would have kicked it off him and it would have carried him back towards the goal. Would have been the wildest goal there ever been.
Yeah.
He's got to wait for the guy he's given the room. He didn't have to rush that. Did Rader, but he didn't.
I believe that was 13, Chris Moore out there.
Moore
kicked it off the back of Moore's head.
Moore caused a lot of havoc out there and almost got that shot on goal and then had the ball carry him off him.
So O'Fallon's going to get a free kick here. It's just outside of the box over here on this near side.
Referee stops the clock and we'll talk to a couple of the O'Fallon players over here away from the ball.
Huh.
Nobody will go off. No cards or nothing given. They wanted to make some sort of point and continue here.
Well, not so fast. Now, looks like the Kahoks were complaining about something over there. They got the sideline judge his attention, and he called the referee over. Now the referee talking things over with Coach Lugie. Very wet, very windy, and a lot chilly. Not calling it cold just yet, but it's chilly enough. 48 degrees. It feels a little chillier than that with all the wind and the rain. Now we're ready to go. And here is the kick. And it goes right off of the body of Tag Baker. And Baker sends the ball back out to midfield. Yagahir Figueroa trying to chase it down, trying to get that positioning on the defensive player, and does so. And then right through his legs on a back kick trying to find Baker. That almost worked. Here is Ben Koenig, who has scored the only goal here in this game. Tag Baker and Hensey trying to wrestle that ball away from him. And it comes down and hits the body of Maximus Lawrence. Lawrence gets it down for Copatelli. Copatelli trying to feed it to Yahir Figueroa, but that was off of the back of the leg of one of the O'Fallon defenders. And now they move it up once again to Chris Moore. Chris Moore is a sophomore, and he can fly. There's some of that speed you were talking about, and they almost Dalen Frecker almost took Chris Moore down in the box. I'm glad that wasn't called because that would have been a penalty kick, and Collinsville comes away with it. And then a couple of bodies collide. No call once again as O'Fallon chips it into the box. It's a bouncer, and it is a header by Logan Rader. And then Logan Rader gets upended and falls awkwardly on his head, but gets back up. And now we're going to have a clock stoppage as an O'Fallon player was hurt on that as well. He's the one that went in and upended Logan Rader, and now they're calling for the athletic trainer to come out, and I'm not sure who that is laying on the ground, but we have a timeout on the field as Collinsville is trailing this game by a score of 1-0 on a goal 6 minutes in by Big Koenig. We will take a break here and the injury timeout, and we'll come back with more in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Whether building a new home, making an addition to the home you currently own, or finally getting around to that remodeling job you've been putting off, Pace Design and Construction in Maryville can help. Pace Design and Construction is a building and remodeling contractor you can trust. They provide the highest quality, they are dedicated to their customers, and are committed to completing your project on time and within budget. Pace Design and Construction in Maryville. Give them a call at 618-407-5466, online at pacedesignconstruct.com, or on Facebook at Pace Construction Design.
Well, the O'Fallon player got up and left under his own power. He was holding his head. I thought that they might have collided heads. But now they're going to bring the ball all the way back out to midfield here. We are trying to get back to action. 12 left to play in this first half, 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. Boys Class 3A Regional Championship game.
O'Fallon flashing some of that speed there over the last couple minutes there. Some guys sparking it up there off the bench.
Drop ball restart here. And that one's going to roll all the way down to Merrill. And Merrill is then going to send it on out. Back to the O'Fallon offensive zone off of a head, and Frecker trying to track it down. He does so. Pops that one up over on the far side. That one is going to land right on one of the pop-up canopies over there for the O'Fallon Panthers. Collinsville did have a canopy down there, but I think they took it down because of all the wind. And then you have that problem where all that water pools in those things, and then the wind blows it out. Remember that in Alton? Yeah. Fun times. Ball popped up into the air. O'Fallon with the lead, trying to keep the ball down here in their zone. They do so for a moment. Here is Corzine. He pops the ball back up pretty much to where it came from. And then Collinsville gets a hold of it for a moment and sends it down the other way. And Yahir Figueroa and Copatelli try to chase that ball down, but the defense for the O'Fallon Panthers sends it over here on the sideline. Tag Baker is set to throw it in. And then he'll drop it behind him, and it'll be Dalen Frecker who will come in and take care of the throw in here. Right into the middle of the box and then pop back out by the Panthers. Frecker gets a hold of it once again, pops it right back into the box, off a body and out forward. Too bad that didn't go behind somebody because Merrill came all the way out of goal, and if that would have took a wrong hit off of somebody, Collinsville with an opportunity here, and that one ends up going across the end line, trying to slide, kick all at the same time, and it just goes wide.
Good thought there to send the ball in the box. Noel could have brought it in there under control, but he had a lot to do there. It could have been an opportunity on goal. Just didn't work out for the Kahoks.
Yeah, Ryan Knoll slid in there, and I'm not sure if he slid on purpose or if he fell down and then slid because of the wet conditions. Collinsville has the ball at midfield. They send it back up into the offensive zone, and now we have a whistle on the play, a foul coming up against O'Fallon, and it'll be a free kick here for Collinsville from midfield. As we approach 10 minutes left to play here in this first half, 1-0 in favor of O'Fallon. Collinsville trying to answer back and get that tying goal.
They're trying to sneak one in here before the half, but I think they'll be content if they're only down by 1, the way they have played this on defense here.
And Corzine tried to slow that ball. Here's another one of those shots. They scored a goal on that one on Tuesday against Belleville West, but that one went right to Merrill. And now O'Fallon trying to work the ball back. They send it over to this side, right to tag Baker. Baker heads the ball up, but O'Fallon sends it right back to midfield, and then Frecker gets a hold of it and puts it back into the offensive zone. Collinsville trying to spend a little bit more time in the offensive zone here in the latter parts of this first half. That one goes all the way out to the other side, so that'll be a throw-in coming up for the O'Fallon Panthers, all the way far side near the corner kick flag.
O'Fallon will throw it in deep here right next to the flag. Step up a couple inches.
Kahok's intercept.
Intercept, yeah.
Yeah, let's try to keep that ball down here as Collinsville puts it into the box over on the far side, and they center it. Oh, off of a body and back the other way. That ball is going to roll out of the corner, and that's going to be a corner kick. Just went to the left side of that corner kick flag over there. If it goes to the right side, it's just a throw-in, but this one's going to be another corner kick, and once again, it'll be Yahir Figueroa who will take this. We've seen Collinsville score off set pieces this year. Here's hoping we do it again. Low line drive hit. That one's in. That one is in off of a header by Collinsville, and the Kahawks have tied this thing up.
Great break there by the Kahoks to get the PK, or the corner kick, on the centering pass earlier, and then Figueroa places it perfectly, and it goes off of
Ryan Knoll.
Okay.
Ryan Knoll gets the tying goal here.
And now you've kind of stolen the first half here if you can get this through here these last 8 minutes.
You were talking about getting that goal before halftime. You'd be happy if you were just down 1-0, but how about 1-1? Let's make sure we keep it that way, though. You don't need O'Fallon coming in all of a sudden and putting on more of that speed.
Because when you put a bunch of guys in the box like that, come off the corner kick, anything can happen.
1-1 game. Both goals coming here in this first half. One early, one late. The O'Fallon goal came 6 minutes in. We had about 8 minutes left here in this first half before Collinsville finally breaks through on a set-piece goal. A corner kick by Yahir Figueroa, and then Ryan Knoll heads it right into the back of the net. Now Collinsville in the offensive zone once again. Knoll is over there, and Knoll just draws a foul. As the sideline judge was waving his flag, so the referee in the field blew the whistle, and it's going to be a free kick here for Collinsville about 45 yards away, and it's going to come from the far sideline. And with 7:20 left to play here, Collinsville looking to go on top before halftime. This one is going to be in the box. Merrill comes out, punches that one out with his hands as he was diving through midair, and O'Fallon, they come away with it, and they try to work their way back up toward midfield. Collinsville defense is tightening up a little bit. Kahawks doing a good job of keeping it in the Collinsville offensive zone. First half of this game was all O'Fallon in their offensive zone. Now Collinsville has turned the tables a little bit here. This ball kicked out of bounds by Corzine, so it'll be a throw-in for the Panthers. And it'll come below us here, about 30 yards away. And it'll be Ben Koenig who scored the first goal of this game for the O'Fallon Panthers, who will throw it in. Finds a teammate wide open right in the middle of the field. That's Volkering. And Volkering sends it over to the far side. Now Shiragi trying to chase it down over there. He does so and sends it into the O'Fallon bench with 6:20 left to play here in this first half. Throw-in comes from the far sideline. And comes right back to the person who threw it in. Now O'Fallon trying to work it in. Far sideline, just outside of the box. And Collinsville's defense doing a pretty good job over there. And then that one's just kicked across the end line by Dalen Frecker. And O'Fallon will have a corner kick. No?
Yeah, we'll get a corner kick out of this.
Nobody's going over there to take it, though. Oh, there we go.
Like have one guy come from the whole other side.
Yeah.
And we got to get the ball back. Now they got a ball.
Everything's wet by now. I don't think it really makes a difference which ball you use. 5.5 minutes to play here in this first half. Second corner kick of this game, or in this half, coming up for O'Fallon. Collinsville just scored off of a set-piece corner kick. O'Fallon trying to answer it, but there's another Kahok using his head. I believe that was Vlasic. He headed that one right out of there and almost got it up to Yahir Figueroa, who is trying to get past all the defenders. Now a bouncing ball on the far side goes out of bounds past the Kahok bench, and it'll belong to O'Fallon. A lot of these folks they were standing up for a while. I wouldn't blame them. I don't want to sit down on these cold aluminum wet benches. Ball at midfield over on the far sideline. Winner gets the Edwardsville Tigers on Tuesday night from Belleville East. Girls volleyball playoffs start that night too at Alton. I got cross between O'Fallon and Alton, and I almost called it Atlanta.
You need them both in there. Play O'Fallon and Alton, right?
Yep, they do. There's a shot, but that's well high and well out of bounds with 4:15 left to play here in this first half. Of course, if the boys win this game and they play Edwardsville Tuesday night from Belleville East, that is the game that we will carry for you. Because as has always been the rule since we started the Kahok Sports Network, whoever is farther along in their playoff push gets precedence. And in this case, Collinsville will be in a sectional semifinal. The boys would be, while the girls would be in their regional semifinal. So that's why we do it that way. It has nothing to do with gender. So just so everybody knows that. If the tables were turned, we would do the same thing.
Right, we've had it in basketball where girls basketball have had a regional game and boys were just still in regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So
free kick for Collinsville from midfield, and it's on the way from Nick Corzine into the box and out the other side. No one touched that, did they? That one was way off the mark. Corzine, I'm sure, wanted to go down the middle with it, but instead went to the far right-hand side and shot that one past everyone. Coming up on 3 minutes to play here in this first half. Goal kick restart being handled by the defense for O'Fallon. And a whistle and a foul against Collinsville. So now it'll be a free kick for O'Fallon from midfield. They immediately kick it over here to this near sideline for Ben Koenig. Koenig had the goal that got things going in the first 6 minutes. There's a bouncer that Koenig put in the box trying to find a teammate, but just missed the pass, and that one fell right into Logan Rader's hands. Here are the Kahawks at midfield trying to steal this one back and push from behind. The referee call, so another free kick coming up here for the O'Fallon Panthers from midfield. Sometimes I'm not sure if somebody was pushed down or they just fell down because of the field conditions.
Hard to see the contact from up here, and you don't know the field conditions.
Collinsville in the box uses the head to get that one back out, but it comes right down onto the foot of one of the O'Fallon players, but a nice job sticking with it for Collinsville as Fernandez kicks it out of bounds. And it goes off of an O'Fallon player, so Collinsville gets the benefit of the throw-in here with 1:45 left to play here in this first half. And that one goes out of bounds as well, so another throw-in coming up here for Frecker.
Okay, let's look for one more push here to try to maybe get a go-ahead goal 8.5, but I think they'll be fine with tied up so far, but now they draw a foul.
Yeah, another foul called, and again, a free kick coming up here for O'Fallon from midfield, and this one being taken by Gavin Hughes. Rain has died out a little bit, but still steady. There's a pop-up right in front of the box, and Collinsville off of the head of Corzine, and then Ellsworth gets his leg on it and gets it up. Now Collinsville moving the ball up, but unable to find Calpatelli on the pass, so it goes back to the defense for the Panthers. And over on the far side, they send it back up into the offensive zone. Under a minute to go here in this first half. Here's O'Fallon in the box over on the far side. Player falls down, and now back up, and that one goes over the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick restart here for Collinsville.
Foul player falls down up over the ball there. Eventually they got to make that call there and get him up off of it, but they let him continue, but nothing happens there as Vlasic stayed with him the whole time, and now Raider will send this one up.
Under 30 seconds, and I don't think they were ready, so that one's going to go right back to Raider.
The clock continues to go.
I don't know what they did either, but
holding this one up for.
At any point, Raider is going to do it all over again if he has a chance to. 10 seconds to go here in this first half. 1-1 between Collinsville and O'Fallon, and Raider sends it back out to midfield, and by the time it finally settles down, all the numbers will have disappeared on the clock. That is the end of the first half of play, with everybody all knotted at one. Time now for the Cafe Agape halftime show, brought to you by Cafe Agape. Great food, great people that run the place as well. Ron McGee and everybody involved at Cafe Agape. They have awesome food, pork steaks and meatloaf and burgers, nachos, mashed potatoes, green beans, and they also offer catering. So if you have a business luncheon, an office party, or you got Christmas parties coming up here real soon, kids, I'd give Cafe Agape a call at 345-CAFE. That's 345-2233. Halftime show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering. Wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahok Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Plumbing or electrical problems? Is your AC or heater on the fritz? There are dozens of companies out there, but do you really know who you're letting in your home? Trust Tiger. Our technicians are clean-cut, drug-free, and background-checked. What other company can make this bold statement? Our 24-hour emergency service will ensure your plumbing, heating, AC, and electric are up and running no matter what time of day it is. Schedule your appointment today. Tiger Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical Services. We earn our stripes every day.
The people of Illinois welcome you. The folks in Collinsville, Illinois, well, they want you to stick around for a while and enjoy the sights, the fun, the food, and of course, the Collinsville Kahawks. The city of Collinsville is a proud supporter of the Collinsville Unit 10 School District. So welcome to Collinsville. Come on over, catch a Kahawks game, or enjoy some of the new places to eat, shop, and have fun. There's plenty to do for the young and the young at heart. Enjoy Christmas at the Collins House during the holidays, tunes at Bloom in the warm summer months, and more. There's plenty to do in Collinsville, so come on over for a bit. The folks in Collinsville would love to see you. For more information, go to www.collinsville.org.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering, wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats.
And we welcome you back into the Cafe Agape halftime show here on the Kahoks Sports Network. Not a lot to tell you about as far as scores are concerned. We can tell you that the Boston Bruins lead the St. Louis Blues 1-0 with a couple of minutes left to go in the first period. As far as high school stuff is concerned, I think we're the only game in town. We had to wait till Saturday to play our regional championship game because they had a football game here last night, so we can pass along yesterday's football scores for you. East St. Louis down Naperville Central 66-21. O'Fallon lost to Cahokia 28-21. Let's see, DeKalb over Alton by a score of 48-20. And, of course, we know about the Centralia Collinsville score from last night. And Belleville East beat Granite City by a score of 48-13. CBC, Christian Brothers, the Cadets down to Belleville West by a score of 48-14. And that's all the football scores from yesterday that we have for you. And, of course, Edwardsville beat Alton in the regional championship game to move to the sectional game. 7-1, Edwardsville won that contest. And that is a look at everything that we have for you as far as scores are concerned. We'll take another break. We'll come back and talk about the first half of this contest where it's 1-1 between Collinsville and O'Fallon as we get you set for the second half coming up in just a moment here on the Kahoks Sports Network.
Cafe Agape serves up some of the best sandwiches, burgers, pork steaks, meatloaf, and more in Collinsville. And yes, they do catering, wedding receptions, luncheons, business meetings, and more. And Cafe Agape is your destination for all of your holiday and party favorites, both main courses and delicious sides. Cafe Agape, check them out at 703 St. Louis Road, or check out the lunch buffet at the Columbus Plaza location on 157 in Collinsville. Call Cafe Agape at 345-CAFE, 345-2233. Yes, they still cater. Cafe Agape, that's some good eats. First National Bank of Waterloo, celebrating over 100 years of banking in the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo's O'Fallon branch office for your mortgage and lending needs. Why? Super low closing costs, low construction loan rates, and they do so much to support our local communities. When you need a loan, come see Bill Metzger at First National Bank of Waterloo in O'Fallon. Call Bill at 618-632-1010. Visit him at 104 Regency Park in O'Fallon or online at fnbwaterloo.com. That's my bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience. Choose Lakeside.
Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahok alums. Located at 302 East Main Street, Code 3 Barbecue Supply is your home for one-of-a-kind everything barbecue headquarters, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning rubs and sauces and donates 25 cents a unit sold to first responder and military organizations to aid the fallen and assist with suicide prevention and PTSD awareness. Stop on by See the guys at Code 3 Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Code 3 Barbecue Supply, home of the Memphis in May first place World Champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at code3spices.com.
And we welcome you back to O'Fallon High School, and we are already underway. They didn't waste any time getting the second half started, did they?
Both teams were ready to go. They were waiting on the referees more than anything. They didn't want to get any colder. They felt warm enough. They're ready to go.
Yeah, teams were out here ready to go 5 minutes before the referees came back out. So your thoughts on the first half there, Mr. Kettler?
I think you can call that a win for Collinsville. They gave up the early goal, found a way to tie it, and now you flip the field. You got the wind to your back. I think you feel positive if you're Collinsville here to get a win here. You've done enough to negate O'Fallon's speed there in the first half, and you can try to get this go-ahead goal here in the second half.
I thought that the Kahoks played a lot better as that first half unfolded. They were a little bit behind the 8 ball in the beginning stages of that game, and that's why Ben Koenig got that first goal just 6 minutes in, but I thought after that they settled down.
And you just don't want to get flat-footed when these O'Fallon Panthers start getting up towards the field. They got that speed that is deadly.
Ball sent out on a goal kick restart by the O'Fallon Panthers as we are underway here in the second half of a 1-1 game. Of course, this is the playoffs, so that means if you stay 1-1, you go to 2 overtime periods, 2 10-minute overtime periods. If still tied after that, you go to the penalty kick phase. We've seen a couple of those over the years in the playoffs. Collinsville, of course, has switched directions, so Logan Rader is in the goal that everyone is moving towards right now as Toby Yabara moves the ball up for O'Fallon and then tries to send it back to a teammate, but that teammate overstepped the ball. Yahir Figueroa gets it, moves it on up, and Collinsville tries to take over and move into the offensive zone from midfield, but the O'Fallon Panthers intercept, and they bring the ball back into their zone. But out of bounds it goes. Here is Shiragi throwing the ball in. Does so to Baker. Baker right back to Shiragi, and Shiragi punches it into Collinsville's offensive zone. Comes down, and Hinsey gets the foot on it first, and then O'Fallon knocks it right off of the backside of Hinsey here, right underneath our location. That is Joel Meyer who did that. And then the throw in for the O'Fallon Panthers. It gets past the Panthers player, and then Vlasic knocks it straight up into the air. Off of the head of Shiragi. Hinsey gets a foot on it. He sends it up to midfield. Now Yahir Figueroa with it. Figueroa trying to thread a pass over here to tag Baker, but the speed there of O'Fallon thwarted Baker, and he gets it right back, and then off of the shins of Vishal Jacob and across the end line. So Collinsville, who has scored their one goal off of a set piece, gets another corner kick here.
Good job to get the ball back by Tab Baker after
sure
he
was.
lost it initially. He stayed with it, kept the ball going up the field, and it worked out for the Kahoks here to get this corner.
Figueroa sends it, and it is punched out of midair by Merrill for a moment, and for another second I thought Collinsville was going to settle it down over there on that far post and have a real good quality shot, but they couldn't settle that wet ball down. Here's a throw-in for Collinsville. Goes right back into the box over on the far side, but intercepted there by O'Fallon. O'Fallon defenseman falls down after he kicks the ball over one of his teammates, and now the O'Fallon Panthers bring the ball back upfield. Here is Spencer Vlasic, who picked off that pass. Nice interception there by Collinsville. Ball off of the head of Anthony Colpatelli, and it comes rolling down into the offensive zone. So the O'Fallon Panthers just pop it up in midair and send it over toward the sideline. I'm sure that their goal was to try to get that ball to go out of bounds, but it did not until just now. 36-15 left to play here in this second half. 1-1 game. Each team scored a goal in the first half. Ben Koenig scored for O'Fallon, and Ryan Knoll scores the equalizer for Collinsville. Kahoks with a free kick coming up here from about 40 yards away. Taken over there on the far side by Nick Corzine, I believe. And it's on the way. Popped up, front of the box. Merrill comes out off of his head, and luckily for him, his hands continue to work, and he grabbed that one before Collinsville could get in there.
The ball stayed high, and I believe Merrill is easily the
Tallest kid out there,
Tallest
yeah.
kid out there, so it wasn't hard for him to get to that ball.
He's wearing a skull cap, too. That's got to be really heavy. I think most of the time these guys are wearing something on their head to keep the dripping water from their hair out of their eyes. Same reason I wear a hat when I cut grass. Soak up that sweat. Ball comes down in front, and Collinsville trying to settle it down. Oh, a shot there by Kopatelli, but right off of the shins of one of the defensemen for O'Fallon. Now Collinsville, Vlasic almost intercepted it and sent it back up to his forwards, but O'Fallon stuck with it and got the ball back. Now the Panthers send the ball into their offensive zone, but immediately Dalen Frecker sends the ball back out as the rain, I think, has picked up in intensity once again. And Collinsville back out at midfield past Shiragi, but not past Vlasic. He sends the ball up to Kopatelli. Kopatelli looks like he's the only one out there, a couple of guys out there wearing gloves. And here is Kopatelli. He comes over in on the wing and sends it into the middle, and that one is almost in off of one of the O'Fallon players. It rolls just wide across the inline, and Collinsville is going to get another corner kick here.
Kopatelli is looking to center that to Figueroa. He would have been right there to put it and get it down and get some kind of shot on goal, but O'Fallon settles for clearing it out, but the Kahoks will get this corner.
I forgot to check and see how much time I got left on this hot spot here, dude.
Oh.
Here come another goal kick restart now for O'Fallon. Taken by one of the defensemen. And right to midfield it comes, right past Figueroa. And then O'Fallon trying to turn away with it. Joel Meyer. Looked like he was surprised that he still had a hold of it there for a minute. Now O'Fallon gets it and brings it up. Here is Yabara. That ball ends up spinning out of bounds.
And off of Vlasic and out of bounds. O'Fallon quick to throw it back in. It
Goes
through that puddle.
Yep, behind the back kick, trying to find Koenig, but that goes right through Lake Illinois down there. And the throw-in comes for Hinsey, and Hinsey, he lost control of the ball, and then a little tug on Spencer Vlasic, but they called it the opposite direction. Well, I've almost used 1.5 through one half of play, so eventually, dude, we're going to have to switch over to your thing. I've got 573.0 megabytes left. Here is a free kick by Jacob, and that goes right to the front of the box, but then comes back down. And Collinsville takes control of it. And now Yahir Figueroa shoots the ball up to Kopatelli. Over on the far side, Knoll trying to chase it down. Knoll on the far side sideline, and now a whistle on the play, and Collinsville is going to get a free kick here from about 30 yards out.
A card given there. Figueroa was taken down over there in the middle of the field. Card given out to O'Fallon.
So Collinsville will have a pretty good opportunity here with this free kick. We are running low on the megabyte minutes, so we're going to have to switch over from my hotspot to Chris's tablet here, but we'll do that after this free kick is taken. Hopefully, if it knocks us off, it won't be for very long. This one's going to come from about 35 yards away, and it is going to be, is that Corzine or Kopatelli taking that? Kopatelli?
Kopatelli going to take it, or Figueroa.
Yeah, they're both there.
They're both over there.
And here we go. Figueroa. It's in, and Collinsville can't keep it from going across the end line, so it's going to be a goal kick restart here for O'Fallon. Is this you right here? Right there?
9432.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have a password we have to use? I think it might connect. All right, so we have 31:25 left to play here in the second half. As Collinsville trying to work it out from midfield. Here is Ellsworth over to Maximus Lawrence. And then over to Corzine. Corzine sends the ball all the way up into the front of the box. O'Fallon gets the head on it first and sends it back out. Collinsville, I like the way they're playing right now. Most of the time has been spent in the Collinsville offensive zone until we have a whistle on the play against Collinsville, and now a free kick coming up here for the O'Fallon Panthers. 29:50 left to play here in this. What? Oh, am I a minute off? 30-41. There we go. I don't even know how that happened. Here is O'Fallon trying to stave off another offensive push here by Collinsville. This one is going to stay with the Kahawks. It's going to be a throw-in from down here near the corner kick flag. And it'll be Spencer Vlasic who will take this. See, it's the guy in the white shirt that keeps on walking around, that keeps on showing up on the reflection.
One O'Fallon player back here inside the 30 of the football markers.
And
stop and play for him.
They have not stopped the clock, though. It continues to run as the referee will send off the injured O'Fallon player. I believe that is Joel Meyer who will go off. And his replacement trots onto the field now. And no time is lost. And now they're going to stop the clock. And it stops with 29. Well, now wait a minute. Okay, no one in the booth heard that.
No, he missed it. No, we're probably going to put some time back on the clock here. Check this out. Needs to at least be about 25 seconds probably.
Yeah, it was 30 minutes and 10 seconds left when I noticed that the clock was still running. Referee jogging over here. 30 minutes and 16 seconds. All right. Now that we got that situated, throw in coming up here for the Kahawks. It'll come down here where this corner kick usually takes place, and Spencer Vlasic will provide the throw in as the clock restarts. We are back underway, and it comes down in front and knocked out by a head. Figueroa tries to keep it moving forward. He does, but Merrill comes out and scoops up the bouncing ball. 10 minutes have gone here in this second half. Both goals have come in the first half. We're tied 1-1. Here's O'Fallon with the ball over on the far sideline. Moves the ball up and to midfield. And a loose ball now. Collinsville trying to chase it down. And it'll be a goal kick restart here by Logan Rader. 29:20 left to play here in this second half. Collinsville once again has controlled most of the offensive pushes in this second half. But no goals to show for it as of right now. Here is Logan Rader. Sends the ball back out to midfield. Comes down, and a little wrestling match almost broke out there between Figueroa and Jacob Jacob Volkering. And now Corzine gets a hold of the ball, sends it back down into the Collinsville offensive zone. Copatelli goes up and tries to use his head to settle it down, but the defenseman behind him is the one who got his head on it. But Collinsville takes advantage of a turnover, or tries to. Here is Ryan Knoll, who has scored the only Kahawk goal. That's popped up into the front, right in the front of that box, and the bubble up front there. And then Ellsworth has a hard time settling it down. O'Fallon comes away with it, and they send it up over on the far side of the field, and a little bit too far, as Dalen Frecker will send the ball back to Logan Rader, and then Logan Rader will send it into his bench. Wind has died down just a little bit. Rain has lightened up just a little bit, but still coming down pretty steadily. There is O'Fallon trying to spend a little bit of quality time in their offensive zone. They haven't been able to do much of that here in this first half, or second half, excuse me, as Jacob sends the ball up and sends the ball onto the foot of Joel Meyer. Meyer sends it right back into the middle. And that is Koenig who sends the ball over, I believe. Hard to tell. 6s from 8s and 9s. Up the far sideline it goes. Vlasic trying to chase it down along with one of the O'Fallon offensive players, and that is shot, and it's shot wide. And another goal kick restart coming up here for Logan Rader. 27 minutes, 15 seconds left to play here in the second half. 1-1 game. Ben Koenig scored 6 minutes into the game for O'Fallon. And with about 8 minutes left in the first half, Ryan Knoll gets the equalizer, and that is all the scoring thus far here on a very wet and chilly night in O'Fallon in this Class 3A Regional Championship game. Collinsville trying to settle it down over on the far side. That was Knoll, who got taken off the ball, and now Collinsville comes up with it and sends it back to Logan Rader.
O'Fallon stiffening up here the last couple minutes. Some better chances back towards their zone, but Collinsville seems to have responded and kind of stalling this out here at midfield over the last minute or so.
Jacob sends the ball over onto the far side for the Panthers, and O'Fallon tries to work the ball up into their offensive zone once again. They do so. Here is a Rowland. Rowland sends the ball up, gets it right back, but then overruns it, and Tag Baker gets there for just a brief second, but then Rowland circles with it once again and will tick the ball over to Joel Meyer. Now Rowland gets the ball back over here on this left wing, trying to put on his move, and there is Shiragi trying to keep that from happening. Centering pass comes down all the way out the other side, and the other offensive player for O'Fallon couldn't settle the ball down enough for a proper shot on goal, and then I think it comes down and Collinsville takes over. I think it might have hit him in the arm. Kahoks bring the ball back up and then get it sent right back, and almost getting taken off the ball there was Frecker. Now he just flips the ball back to Logan Rader, and Rader will send it back out to midfield. Off of the head of one of the Collinsville forwards there. That was Tag Baker. Now on to Alsworth. Alsworth to Figueroa. Figueroa right in the middle, zigzagging around a player, gets pushed off the ball, and then Copatelli sends one over to Tag Baker, but that ball didn't have enough on it. And then the defenseman for O'Fallon just kicks the ball right off of the leg of Baker and out of bounds.
The Kahoks maybe panicked a bit there. They had the numbers in the middle of the field there. You usually don't get that much time to work there, and what they ended up doing was kicking it to the outside and to Tag Baker, who couldn't do anything with it.
And that ball didn't have enough zip on it to reach Baker, so that allowed the defenseman to get there first for O'Fallon. Just under 25 minutes to go here in this second half. Throw in coming here for the O'Fallon Panthers deep into their defensive zone. Chris Moore comes away with it, and right between a couple of Collinsville defenders, there's a shot toward the goal by Collinsville, and that one stayed up in the wind-blown air long enough for Merrill to come in and make an easy save. He sends it out to the Panthers, and his teammates bring the ball up through midfield. Over this way now for Rowland. Rowland gets it past a couple of defenders, but not the final line of defense there for Collinsville, and the Kahawks send it back out to midfield. Copatelli trying to settle that ball down. Ellsworth finally does. He sends it over to Ryan Knoll, but it goes right through Knoll's legs, and it rolls right into the O'Fallon bench. 24 minutes left to go here in this second half. 1-1 game. O'Fallon and Collinsville battling it out for a regional championship. Winner will move on Tuesday night to take on the Edwardsville Tigers. Collinsville looking for their fourth regional championship in a row. This is their fifth appearance in a regional championship game in a row. O'Fallon's trying to capture a regional championship for the first time since 2014. It's been a while. There's a shot. Here's Tag Baker with the rebound. Oh, boy. I think that O'Fallon player just got his leg up right at the right moment to block that shot from going any farther. Joel Meyer there with the handy-dandy leg placement.
Corzine hasn't been able to hasn't been afraid to take those shots from the outside there, and a weird bounce off of a O'Fallon player almost gave Collinsville an opportunity.
That one goes across the end line, so it'll be a goal kick restart here. Collinsville's fourth regional championship game in a row. They lost 1-0 to O'Fallon in the regional semifinal in 2014. That was the last time Collinsville didn't make it to a regional championship game. And that was the last time, by the way, that O'Fallon won a regional championship game. O'Fallon, by the way, lost to Edwardsville in last year's regional championship game. And they were also knocked out in the semifinals in 2017 by Belleville West. Here's Figueroa turning the corner on the right wing, and that one goes off of the legs of Vishal Jacob. And Collinsville will have another corner kick here. The Kahawks' lone goal came off of a set-piece corner kick by Figueroa, and Figueroa down here to take this one again. Nope, he's going to go off. They're going to switch it up. So Figueroa goes off, and Ryan Perrell, I believe, is coming on to take this one. Is that Perrell? No, that's Frecker.
Frecker going to do the corner kick honors.
Frecker's usually a throw-in specialist. Now they're going to give way for, nope, they're going to fake it, act like they were going to bring in Vlasic. That one went right out into the middle, but no one there wearing purple and white to take advantage of it. Here's Knoll, who already has a goal tonight. He shoots, but that's blocked out by the defense. Here is Nick Corzine, gets around a defender, puts a shot on goal, and that one goes wide. Corzine been living well out there about 20, 30 yards away from the goal with these blistering rocket shots. He scored one in Tuesday's semifinal, and he's had a couple of good chances here tonight.
Collinsville got what they wanted out of that corner kick. They're keeping it low and down to the ground. They just going to get their guys where they should have been to get a shot on Merrill.
Here's the restart as this one goes out to the midfield logo of the O'Fallon Panthers, and Ellsworth sends it up to Ryan Knoll. Knoll that's getting pushed away from behind, and Collinsville will have to go back and play some defense. Here is Shiragi. He'll send that one all the way back to Logan Rader, and Logan will send it all the way back out to midfield. O'Fallon uses a head and sends it back out into their offensive zone. Corzine trying to capture that ball first. Fell down. Here's a shot, and that one goes on the top of the goal. Man, oh man, that was close.
It all got set up by a Collinsville player slipping down the ground in this wet field. Gave him numbers to get towards the box, and shot just stayed wide or high.
Barely. It hit the crossbar on the football goal post and then went right to the top of the net, but it was very close. Rader sends it back out to midfield as we are about halfway through this second half. Collinsville back on their heels once again on defense, and this time Frecker sends the ball out over on the far sideline. Only one tie between these two teams over the last 20 years. And that was all the way back in 2002. A 1-1 tie. Here's a shot blocked out by the Collinsville defense. Now over on the far side, a shot put toward the goal comes in front. O'Fallon takes it. Oh! Logan Rader got a hand on it, but it goes in anyway. And that is a backbreaker for Collinsville as the O'Fallon Panthers have scored the go-ahead goal here with just 19:36 left to play here in this second half, and that goal was scored by Brendan Hill.
Hill was in the right place at the right time. Logan Rader almost was able to punch it away, but too much on that shot to stop it without getting the body in front of it. Lucky break for O'Fallon, you'd hate to say, but Kahoks are going to have to find a way to tie this here.
They are. That's what they're going to have to work on as we have 19:25 left to play here in this second half. Brendan Hill scores the goal to make it 2-1 in favor of O'Fallon. Just about halfway through this second half. So Collinsville with their work cut out for them now. Wind has died down. The rain has let up just a little bit, but it's still coming down. Throw in coming here for O'Fallon. That's off of the head of Chris Moore, and then off of the head of Maximus Lawrence. Shiragi trying to settle it down. He can't. Lawrence, he gets a foot on it, but trying to knock people out of the way. He finally does. And then Frecker sends the ball over to the far sideline and just past Ryan Knoll and into the O'Fallon bench. Boy, I tell you what, Logan Rader got a hand on that ball, but just couldn't get enough of a hand on it to keep it out. It just hit it, had so much force on it that it hit his hand and knocked his hand back, and then it went into the goal, and it just barely went in.
Yeah, it was definitely one of them ones you had to get a body in on that. If he could have just got over a little more, but the play happened so quickly. It was a heck of a job just to get a hand in on it by Logan Rader.
Here's O'Fallon once again, dangerous in their offensive zone. Collinsville trying to turn the tables and bring the ball back up. Collinsville dominated the offensive zone time in the first half of this second half, and then O'Fallon kind of picked it up there toward the end, and they get the good bounce and get a good goal. And here is Rader that comes all the way out, scoops the ball up, and will send it back out to midfield. Plenty of time left, but not all the time in the world. Coming up on 17 and a half minutes to play here in this second half. Collinsville trying to settle the ball down at midfield. Lawrence is there, and Lawrence gets pushed off the ball. That's a foul against O'Fallon. Collinsville will get a free kick here, but it's going to, no, they're going to, are they changing their mind? Yeah, they are, aren't they? Well, that's strange.
Yeah, everybody thought it was going the other way.
Yeah.
Everybody started running the other way. The referee stood there by the ball and then pointed the opposite direction.
So Fallon gets the ball back, and they bring it up over here on the near side. And streaking up the sideline, that is Joel Meyer. And Meyer sends it up to Chris Moore. Moore dances around with it, and then the ball is popped up. Collinsville trying to get it over the sideline to get a throw in here from O'Fallon, but the ball is not cooperating with them very much as that ball ends up going out of bounds, so it will be a throw in here for O'Fallon. 16:40 left to play here in this second half. 2-1 in favor of O'Fallon. Told you about the 5 years in a row that Collinsville lost to O'Fallon in the playoffs. We also told you at the beginning of the show that Collinsville is 2-4 against O'Fallon in the playoffs. The last win, a 4-0 win at the Belleville West Regionals in 2008. So it's been 11 years since Collinsville has beat O'Fallon in the playoffs, as Tag Baker is guilty of knocking down one of the O'Fallon players. So a free kick coming up here for O'Fallon, and that one's going to be about 25 yards away. And looks like Ben Koenig is going to take it as he comes in and stands next to Ybarra. And the referee marking off the distance for the wall and making Collinsville's wall back up a little bit.
Not hard to know there. The ball's just short of that 15-yard line.
Here's the kick. It's on the way and too high. So Collinsville avoids a little trouble there. And the Kahawks looking for the equalizer. They trail 2-1. 15:20 left to play here in this second half. Logan Rader sends the ball back out to midfield. Takes a bounce and off of a Kahawk body. Sent back down into the zone, and Dalen Frecker gets there first and sends it over to the far sideline, but not out of bounds. Corzine is over there trying to make sure that the offensive player with the ball doesn't move it into the box and have a chance, but that chance is right there. Logan Rader gets a little piece of that and keeps the ball from going behind him. Instead, it stays to the side, and Collinsville then slides up and kicks it out of bounds. Tag Baker, the junior Tag Baker. Tell you what, man, you make a mistake on that Facebook page,
well,
people
the roster's
all
been
over
wrong
it.
all
I know
year.
the roster. That's what I said too. I said that's what my answer was. The roster has him as a senior. I knew he wasn't a senior, so I guessed that he was a sophomore, but I found out he was a junior.
It's hard to be right when everybody else is wrong.
I know. Collinsville moving it down to the offensive zone. This is where they need to keep it for a while if they want to have a chance here. But it's sent right back by the O'Fallon defense as we approach 14 minutes left to play here in this second half. Collinsville, and Shiragi gets tripped up there by Boasso. And a free kick coming up here for Collinsville, but from midfield. Frecker sends the ball down, keeps it low, and off of Figueroa, and then it gets into the box, but O'Fallon is there to send it right back out. Nice pinch in there by Spencer Vlasic, trying to create some offense himself. Spencer with the ball, trying to squeeze it out and get it onto a forward's foot. He does so to Maximus Lawrence, now in front. Ryan Null just couldn't quite get there before the O'Fallon player did, And now a O'Fallon player flips right over the back of Yahir Figueroa. Here is Chris Moore. He sends the ball back out toward midfield, and Vlasic couldn't get there before one of the O'Fallon players did. Now Nick Corzine over on the far side will send the ball up. And Collinsville once again trying to work a little offensive magic. No. Keeps the ball moving forward. No. Once again trying to get it through some defenders, trying to find Copatelli with it, but couldn't. Now at midfield, Spencer Vlasic circles, and he'll send it over to the far side for Nick Corzine. Corzine sends the ball up toward the goal in front of the box. Yahir Figueroa off his head. Copatelli trying to chase it down. He can't get there, and then the O'Fallon player will just send it across the sideline and out of bounds for another throw-in coming up here for Collinsville with 12:45 left to play here in this second half.
I see my Collinsville got down after giving up that go-ahead goal, but now they've picked themselves back up, and they know they got to work for this tying goal.
That one was close to that far post. It comes back out, and Corzine sends it back up off of his head. Now it pops up over here, and
handball.
A handball will stop things, and it's a handball by O'Fallon. So Collinsville will get a free kick out of this. It's going to be from about, what are they doing? They're going to do a corner kick? Okay.
Well, that must have been the one from before.
Okay.
I'll cancel out all that before. Now
all
we got
right.
the corner kick.
Here's another one on the way, and this one comes out the other side. Chasing it down over here is Ellsworth, and that one ends up going over the end line as well, and we're going to switch sides. Yahir Figueroa will come from the far corner to the near corner, and the Kahawks will get another corner kick out of this. Figueroa ready to go. Ryan Knoll is too. That one goes past Knoll, comes down on the ground, and here is Corzine, and that one's just a little bit too high. And I think that one goes off of a player as well, so Collinsville will get a third straight corner kick here.
The last one, the ball stayed high, and like we said, Merrill is the tallest one out there, their goalie, and
next corner kick on the way. That one's punched out by one of the O'Fallon defenders that was hugging that corner post there. Collinsville trying to keep it down there. They do so. Here is Ellsworth, gets it over to Knoll, and Knoll couldn't keep it. Here is Frecker. He sends one. That ends up going high over the net, and now it'll be a goal kick restart after 3 straight corner kicks there by Yahir Figueroa and the Collinsville Kahawks.
And they tried something different on the third one there, keeping it short away from the goalie and low. Trying to get Corzine or something to get one of them blistering shots towards the net.
Time is going to be coming a factor here real soon as we have 10.5 minutes to play here in this second half. O'Fallon has a 1-goal lead, and they send the ball back out to midfield into the rainy nighttime sky. Collinsville punches it back into the offensive zone, trying to keep it down there. There is Copatelli. He couldn't handle it, and now a bouncing ball coming all the way down for Frecker. Frecker uses a little backwards flip kick and sends this one out of bounds right into Lake Illinois down there. It's a lot of water that builds up in that one spot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real beat down part of their turf, and
yeah,
the water collects as it rolls in there off the track.
I'm guessing that is where one of the benches sits during football games. That's probably why it's a little indented. Collinsville again sends it back down to their offensive zone. O'Fallon on the defensive side of things, trying to keep the ball heading in the opposite direction. Collinsville wants to punch it out of there. Tag Baker does so, but punches it out of bounds. A throw-in coming up here for O'Fallon as we have 9.5 minutes left to go here in this second half. Collinsville needs that equalizer, and they are going to need it soon. Here is Vlasic. Vlasic knows what it's all about. He played a lot of games last year in that run to state and coming away with that third-place trophy.
Good job for him to battle there. Stayed high enough to draw the foul.
Shiragi will take this free kick from midfield.
Whoa, what a drive.
High, deep, and it takes a little bit of a O'Fallon roll, though, as that one didn't touch anyone. Did that earlier in the first half. I think that was Corzine who kicked that one and didn't touch anyone.
Shraggy sent that a long way, but wasn't very accurate. And now the rain is probably
wind is the wind is blowing from behind the press box now, so it is the wind blew the ball to that direction of the field. It's not blowing as hard as it was when we first got here. The rain is just staying steady as Collinsville works hard to try to find this goal to tie things up. 8.5 minutes to go. It's getting kind of late. Kahawks with the throw in right in front of the O'Fallon bench. They throw it up the sideline, and trying to chase it down over there was Ellsworth. And that one ends up going off of Ellsworth and then out of bounds. So another goal kick restart coming up here for O'Fallon. And once again, it'll be Vishal Jacob who will take this goal kick restart. Actually, that's not him because he's out there with Yahir Figueroa right now. Not sure who this is. Ball on the way. It's high and it's deep. Not quite to the football 50-yard line, but very close. And then out of bounds, and the ball will belong to Collinsville now. So the Kahawks will have a throw in. 7.5 minutes to play here in this second half. Kahawks desperately in need of a tying goal. Here is Figueroa over on the far side trying to work himself around a couple of defenders, and one of those defenders knocked the ball out of bounds. And a throw-in coming up here. Dalen Frecker is going to take it all the way over there on the far side. Frecker's throw-in. He wastes no time. Comes right back over towards him, but the O'Fallon defender is there instead, and the Panthers move the ball back up into their offensive zone. Vlasic is there to knock that one out of bounds. Throw-in coming up here for the O'Fallon Panthers. Right in between the benches. You know they're in no hurry to do that. Throw-in comes up right along the Collinsville bench and then ends up right on top of the bench belonging to the Kahawks. So now the throw-in will come right in front of the Kahawk bench, and it comes up the line. O'Fallon, foul on the play against the Panthers. Collinsville will get a free kick from way downtown. Into the offensive zone it goes as Maximus Lawrence tries to track it down. He couldn't do so, and that one hits the referee, but it's a call against O'Fallon again anyway. So now another free kick, and wasting no time putting that one on, and that one bounces in there, and Tag Baker was coming down the throat of Merrill there, and Merrill steps out to his left-hand side and takes that one, and now sends it back into the nighttime sky. 6 minutes to play here in this second half. 2-1 in favor of O'Fallon. Regional championship on the line. Over on the far side, Panthers have it. In the front of the box, Panthers trying to set themselves up for another opportunity, and here it is. That one goes wide. Boy, oh boy, wide open was Rafa Rowland, and Rowland just mishit that one, and it goes wide as Logan Rader was over here toward the near post. That ball went to the far post, and now we're going to have a clock stoppage here. .5:20. Well, they stopped that one. They started that one right back up, didn't they? I'm trying to adjust the time, and they already started it back up. Oh, I think I heard that thud all the way up here.
Elbow into the
O'Fallon player getting up.
Into the O'Fallon player, but he's able to get up.
Yeah, I think that was Joel Meyer. So free kick coming up here for O'Fallon. Time is of the essence now as the ball needs to be going in the opposite direction. That one's off of the head of Jared Ellsworth and out of bounds. So a throw-in coming up here for O'Fallon with 4.5 minutes to go here in this second half. Collinsville needs to bring it back the other direction for a chance to tie it and maybe send this game into overtime. Comes down for O'Fallon. O'Fallon, they bring the ball up, and the guy who just missed the goal, Rowland, he has her on this near side trying to get it around both Ellsworth and Shiragi. And now a throw-in coming up here for Meyer. Throws it into the corner. O'Fallon, all they want to do is waste time. They got it down here toward the goal they need to shoot it in, so they're going to waste time, they're going to do it down here at this end.
Yeah, I think the last time these two teams played, O'Fallon pretty much did the same thing, just stalling the ball out deep in the zone here, forcing Collinsville to kick it out and try to do something to get it off the O'Fallon player.
So the Panthers are playing a little Waldo ball, huh?
Yeah, they seem to know what they're doing here when they try to get this, and Collinsville just can't be successful to get the ball out of bounds off of O'Fallon touching.
Yeah, they're just throwing it in about 5-10 feet, not throwing it in deep, and now that one's going to go across the end line, and that one is going to go against O'Fallon. So Collinsville
finally
will get the ball back here, but they're running out of time. They have 3 minutes left, and 3 minutes only to try and find this tying goal. Logan Rader, he's ready to send it back out to midfield. He does so. And off of the head of Ellsworth and into the Collinsville offensive zone. And then Colpatelli uses his head to get it farther. And here's Tag Baker trying to chase it down. But that ball is going to be sent over toward the corner and out of bounds off of the O'Fallon player. And Collinsville will have a throw-in near where they take the corner kick. And here is Dalen Frecker with 2.5 minutes to go. Frecker throws the ball in off of a head up front. And Collinsville trying to settle it down. It comes down for Colpatelli. And then Colpatelli lost control of the ball. It rolls all the way back out to midfield. Here is Logan Rader. He'll send the ball back down himself. Pops it up and around the 25-35 yard mark away from the goal. And the ball comes down and sent back out to midfield. Now the O'Fallon Panthers trying to come back on offense. Logan Rader has to back up toward the goal. 2 minutes to go here in this second half. And Collinsville trailing by 1. Ball ends up going out of bounds. Throw in for the O'Fallon Panthers will come right in front of the Collinsville bench. Looks like they finally found a canopy to stay under, and now we have clock stoppage with 1:46 left to play. And now we're back at it. Coming in, O'Fallon, and that one goes across the end line, and it's going to be a goal kick restart. O'Fallon sent it across, but Kahawks are running out of time, kids. 95 seconds left to play here in this second half. Are they saying it's a corner kick now? That they are. Well, that's going to waste all kinds of time.
Yeah, O'Fallon was successfully killed off about a minute earlier, and with only 1:20 to go, Kahawks had to do something to get this ball back.
Yeah, they do, and here we go. Frecker, well, he got taken off the ball. It gets sent up anyway. Collinsville, last desperation effort here. We're at a minute 5 seconds. Here come the Kahawks. Here is Ellsworth. He punches it in the front of the box over the head of Figueroa, and Figueroa turns the corner trying to get the ball back, and he is going to be unsuccessful in that endeavor, but it comes to Tag Baker. Baker sends the ball over to Frecker. Baker gets it right back, but there is Rowland to step right in front of Baker and intercept that pass as we are down to 45 seconds left. Throw in belongs to O'Fallon. Collinsville pleading their case that should be their ball, but meanwhile, the clock continues to tick as that ball is popped up into the air, and now we're going to have a throw-in coming up here for Collinsville. Actually, it's a free kick. 29 seconds left. Here is Shiragi toward the goal. He pops it up, and out front, O'Fallon knocks it back out. Figueroa sends it right back out front. And another loose ball. Ellsworth off of his head. Down on the ground. Collinsville, Figueroa off of a body. Collinsville just couldn't get it through the mass of bodies up there playing defense. That one's popped up on the sideline, and we are down to the final 5 seconds, and that's going to do it, kids. O'Fallon is going to win this game. Oh, they're going to stop the clock.
They asked for the clock to stop before it hit zeros.
They did.
So it's not quite over yet, but it's pretty much going to be academic because O'Fallon's just going to throw this in and run the clock out. 1.7.
1.7.
You would never get the ball over towards the net in 1.7.
No, you're not.
But
and I believe it's a throw-in for O'Fallon anyway.
Right, that too.
Yeah. Yes. What were we waiting on? Substitutions? Is that why they stopped the clock?
I just think they didn't want O'Fallon to waste the time on positioning the ball or whatever. Just stop the clock and say, here, you got to throw it in from here and continue on.
Well, there's the throw-in, and then the clock hits zero, and that's going to do it. The O'Fallon Panthers have once again knocked the Collinsville Kahawks out of the playoffs with a 2-1 victory as the O'Fallon Panthers score the only goal here in the second half, and the Panthers will move on to take on the Edwardsville Tigers Tuesday night from Belleville East High School. That is going to end the season for your Kahawks. They will finish with an overall record of 13-9. O'Fallon continues on. That's their 15th win of the season. They are now 15-4-2 on the year. And now we welcome you into the Cullip Jennings Florist post-game show, brought to you by Cullip Jennings Florist, a staple in the Collinsville area. Cullip Jennings Florist has been for generations. They're located at 517 West Clay Street. Stop in for weekly specials. This week's special, a dozen fall sunflowers on sale for $25. That includes the dozen flowers and the vase, all for $25. Call Cullip Jennings Florist for more information at 344-0404 or online at cullipjennings.com. Postgame show comes your way, postgame show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Cullip Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Cullip Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Cullip Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at cullipjennings.com.
Something old can be something new again. The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville proves that old adage right one more time. Derek and Whitney Reiser, along with brewmaster and distillery operator Torrin O'Brien, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is not just a place to eat and drink, but more of a must-experience destination in the St. Louis area. With its Collinsville Herald newspaper feel, Old Herald Brewery and Distillery features a restaurant, a tap room, and of course a state-of-the-art one-of-a-kind distillery. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery can handle all of your group functions, as well with an event space that can handle you and 79 of your friends for any large gathering. And the food? Well, simply amazing, with local and new favorites, plus brunch on Sundays. How about bocce ball or bags on the patio? Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville. Give them a call at 855-8027, online at oldheraldbrewing.com or on Facebook at Old Herald.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the Event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahok Sports Network and KahokSports.com. Everyone has those projects around the house that you just don't want to do. AW Outdoor Solutions can take care of that for you. Former Collinsville High School graduate Adam Welly owns AW Outdoor Solutions, and he and his crew can handle all of the dirty work around your home.
Director of Sports Medicine at Next Level.
Cullip Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Cullip Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Cullip Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion, from anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
And once again, we welcome you back into the Call Up Jennings Florist post-game show here on the Kahok Sports Network as Collinsville falls tonight in the regional championship game by a score of 2-1 to the O'Fallon Panthers. Matt Benway joining us now. He's one of the assistant coaches for the Collinsville Kahoks. He is also very soaked. Rough weather conditions out there tonight, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's very cold out there, very wet and rainy. It wasn't heavy drops or anything, but it was always constant and never let up.
And the wind wasn't very fun either, was it?
No, it was a good win. Not well for playing soccer.
No, not at all. All right, talk about the game for a little bit. A pretty good first half by both teams. They've scored the first one. You guys come back and get the equalizer. So talk about the first half first.
First half, came out. Didn't start off the very best. They got that early goal. Kind of was a wake-up call a little bit. Came back out, got that second goal and got back into it a little bit.
And you guys came out after halftime was over with, and I thought you guys handled the play very well. You had spent the majority of the time of the second half in your own offensive zone, but then just strange things happen in this game of soccer.
Yep, especially with the weather conditions. It's never easy, and unfortunate thing happens, and you can't predict it. You can't foresee it. And it just, skips through our box and ends up going in.
Yeah, right off of the hand of Logan Rader, we said if there was probably any other body part that he could have got on that ball, he probably makes the stop. But just the hand and the velocity on that ball just kind of took his hand back, and the ball goes in and sneaks in that corner.
Yeah, there's nothing you could do to train for that. He did his best, and he laid out for it as much as he could and did everything we asked him to do. And just a great shot, as much as you can do, and it ends up going in.
It's got to be the biggest umbrella I think I've ever seen in my life.
I was just looking at that.
Oh, my. We got to, let people look at this thing. Holy moly. This is that's not an umbrella, man. That's a tent. Look at that thing. It's even got a zipper door on it. It's a tent. All right. Well, it was a good season. I know it doesn't end the way you want it to because you're not going to the northern midsection of Illinois and playing for a trophy or anything, but pretty good season otherwise for a team that you guys really didn't have any idea how things were going to work out to begin with because of all of the seniors you lost from last year.
Yeah, and especially looking at the overall season, started off not to the best start and end on 7 wins, coming in here with 8 wins in a row. A group like this, can't beat it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for the visits. We appreciate you
Thanks so much.
visiting with us all year long, man. We like it when coaches come up and talk.
It's always a fun pleasure.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Matt Benway, one of your assistant coaches for your Collinsville Kahoks. We'll let him get out of here and get on the bus before they leave him here. And we'll take a final break and come back and wrap things up from O'Fallon as the Call Up Jennings Florist postgame show continues here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
The Times-Tribune, Madison County's longest-running leading independent newspaper. The Times-Tribune has now added Collinsville to their coverage area this year, including coverage of City Hall, happenings in Collinsville, as well as coverage of the Unit 10 schools and the Collinsville Kahoks, plus more. The Times-Tribune is a weekly hometown newspaper that is published every Thursday and has been reporting news and sports in Madison County for over 30 years. Subscriptions are only $32 for an entire year, delivered to your home and the online edition. For more information, call the Times-Tribune at 618-667-3111, online at www.timestribunenews.com, or follow them on Facebook at Troy Times-Tribune. Are the lights on your dashboard putting on a show? Bring it to Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive is also a T3 certified tire center. They can handle all of the basics like oil changes and tune-ups and the not-so-basics like complete engine rebuilds. Mike's Automotive also has 24-hour towing and has 3 locations: Millstadt, St. Louis, and in Collinsville. The Collinsville location is at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call 345-0611, online at mikesautomotive.net and Mike's Automotive on Facebook.
Call Up Jennings Florist, a Collinsville original since 1939. Call Up Jennings Florist has a wide variety of green and blooming plants, specializing in all designs, from traditional to trend settings. Call Up Jennings Florist is of course your place for beautiful flowers, suitable for any occasion. From anniversaries to birthdays, graduations to weddings, Call Up Jennings Florist is there for any life's major moments. Call Up Jennings Florist, 517 West Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 344-0404 or online at callupjennings.com.
Back here at O'Fallon High School, Todd Duke and Chris Kettler along with you as we wrap up our Call Up Jennings Florist post-game show. Collinsville ends their soccer season tonight at the hands of the O'Fallon Panthers 2-1. The O'Fallon Panthers are regional champs for the year, and they will put an end to Collinsville's year. Ben Koenig got things started for O'Fallon, 1-0, just 6 minutes into this contest, and then with about 8 minutes left to go in the first half, Ryan Knoll ties things up at 1-1, and then just about halfway through the second half, a goal scored by Brendan Hill off of the hand of Logan Rader finds the back of the net, and O'Fallon goes up 2-1, and they end up holding on by that final score of 2-1. Collinsville, Chris Kettler had their chances in this game. I thought they did a nice job in the offensive zone. They spent a lot of time in the offensive zone, but hats off to the O'Fallon defense. They stepped up when they needed to.
You know, O'Fallon did what they had to do to keep the Kahoks off the board. The Kahoks were never able to get that second goal, which would prove to be much needed after O'Fallon put their second goal in the net on the weird exchange there down on the end, and Logan Rader couldn't get much of it to stop the shot. It's a tough way to go down. We played in some tough conditions for both teams, so that was a factor in it too. But just a game of soccer happens like that sometimes, and you lose 2-1. But this team made some strides this year. They seem to be a little lost in their ways early in the season. Didn't pick up very many wins, but turned it on here late in the season. Got 8 wins in a row, but O'Fallon could never get past them this year. Lost all 3 games to the Panthers.
Collinsville beat Belleville West 3 times this year, and O'Fallon beats Collinsville 3 times this year. So that's going to do it for us for soccer season. We are not finished with fall sports just yet. We will be at Alton on Tuesday night as your Collinsville Lady Kahawks take their steps toward a postseason berth as they take on the number 3 seed O'Fallon Lady Panthers. Collinsville is the number 6 seed. First game of the night is at 5:30. That features Edwardsville taking on Alton, and then Collinsville and O'Fallon will take the court an hour later at 6:30. The winners are scheduled to meet on Halloween night at 6 o'clock, and we're hoping that the Kahawks will be there. That's a tough regional, man. I'm talking, you got to get past O'Fallon first. If you do that, and then you got the Edwardsville Tigers. That's a tough regional.
That's super tough regional, and you got a little bit of a haul up to Alton. Not really though, but lots of tough teams there, and to get through that volleyball. But the team has had a winning year this year. Maybe they can be a team to upset O'Fallon and Edwardsville this year.
So I guess we won't see you until basketball season, right?
Yeah, I don't think I'll be over at volleyball, but yeah, basketball will come
I know
up
that
here.
you don't join me for hockey, and I don't think you join me for any bowling, and those are the first things I have coming up. My first basketball game, December the 2nd, home game for your Lady Kahawks, and then the boys on December the 6th. So
right, and those will be home games, so
yep.
I'm sure we got some road basketball games I'll get on there with you, but there's some big expectations coming out of the boys basketball side this year that everybody's talking about, and be fun to watch that from no matter how we'll do it when I'm at the scores bench or over with you.
Yep.
It'll be fun to watch.
It's going to be a blast. We got to get through the fall season first, and we're back with you on Tuesday night beginning at 6:30, so we'll be on the air somewhere around 10 after 6 with the pregame show. For everybody involved, Coach Lugie and Coach Hayes and Coach Benway, we thank them for their participation in our pre- and post-game shows, and a number of folks that helped operate the camera from the JV team this year. We appreciate their help, as well as Zach Roseman and Mr. Chris Kettler. My name is Todd Duke, and until Tuesday night, volleyball action from from Alton against O'Fallon. Until Tuesday night, my name is Todd Duke. Everyone have a fantastic evening.